Hawaiian resort. I worked at a company for almost 15 years during the 90s and early 2000s. Toward the end of my time there, we hired a new supervisor. Although I didn't report to him, he would often read documents on my desk when I wasn't around. Sometimes he'd make copies of my work and give them to his team, telling them to modify it for their projects. Honestly, I didn't mind that we were all part of the same company, but the sneakiness of it all really irritated me. He was also quite obnoxious, always bragging about his team's successes. It didn't help that he wasn't well liked. A coworker and good friend, Bert, and I had been attending a conference in Hawaii every year. It was a reward for our hard work, held at a resort hotel in Waikiki Beach. The rooms were limited, and if you didn't book early, you'd end up staying elsewhere. One day, Tom saw the travel authorization form for the conference on my desk and decided to fill one out for himself. He was told that there was only funding for 2 people, so he went up the management chain to get approval. Since he outranked both Bert and me, one of us had to withdraw our paperwork. We flipped a coin, and I won. I traveled frequently and had accumulated a lot of frequent flyer miles because the flight from the East Coast to Honolulu was long. We were authorized to fly business class, which was a fantastic perk. Not wanting to sit next to Tom, I used my miles to upgrade to first class without telling him. Our travel agent managed to secure reservations for both of us at the resort hotel. Tom, being his usual self, bragged to everyone in the office about going to Hawaii, boasting about flying in business class and staying at a Hawaiian resort. He even expected me to introduce him to the conference regulars and show him a good time. It was overwhelming, and I planned to avoid him as much as possible while we were there. We were flying out on Sunday and returning the following Saturday. On Saturday afternoon, I called to confirm my airline reservation, a habit I had developed over the years. To my surprise, I learned there were no business class or first class seats available, just coach. That gave me an idea. Later that day, I called from a payphone and changed Tom's reservation to a business class flight on Monday, then canceled his hotel room. On Sunday morning, I checked in at the airport and headed to the first class lounge to wait for my flight. When the announcement came, I grabbed my things and boarded the plane. I settled into my seat and ordered a drink, feeling quite pleased with myself. As the plane filled up, Tom appeared at the jetway, looking furious. He started ranting about the airline messing up his reservation. The flight attendant quickly told him he needed to take his seat. He asked her if there were any empty seats other than coach, but she apologized, saying the premium cabins were full. Twice during the flight, he came up to my seat to complain more. The agent at the counter had managed to change his ticket to this flight, but only got him a seat in coach. He was stuck in a middle seat in a row of 5 and couldn't get comfortable. He even asked if I would switch seats with him for the last half of the flight, but I politely declined. I didn't see him again until we reached the luggage carousel. After we took the courtesy shuttle to the hotel, he learned at check-in that he had no reservation at the sold-out Hawaiian resort. He went ballistic. A manager was summoned and took him to another computer station nearby. I didn't stick around and headed up to my room. About 15 minutes later, my phone rang. It was Tom, pitching a fit. He insisted he needed to share my room since it was where the conference was. He complained that the manager had only secured him a room at a motel about a 10-minute walk away. I told him my room only had 1 bed, conveniently leaving out the fact that I had 2 queen-size beds, a balcony with an ocean view, and a separate living area. I saw Tom during all the sessions. I took pity on him, and he joined me at the cocktail social after the first day, and tagged along for dinner with my companions. When we flew back Saturday evening, he didn't come up to complain, likely because he was in business class. A few days after returning, I confessed everything to Bert at lunch. He laughed and said it kind of made up for not being able to travel with me.